Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Today uh we're definitely gonna go live right now. We're going live on YouTube as we are going to be talking about All In. We're going to be talking about the predictions. We're definitely going to talk about what Swerve Strickland said on a podcast about dirt sheets. Uh, Pretty much telling the stories about the stuff that happens in the locker room and how they really blow things out of proportion. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we're also going to be talking about Matt Hardy, talk about the Lucha Brothers and rumors, and reaction of his thinking, well, what's going to happen if they when they go to WWE, all that stuff. Now you're going to see right now that the introduction is kind of different because we are live right now, and I'm hoping people come in and whatnot and check out the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Of course, subscribe. So we're definitely going to be ready to start this, and we're going to give you our feedback on the matches. Or then we're going to definitely go do the predictions because I know a lot of podcasters out there are going to do their predictions. But here, we all about, the truth. No tribalism, none of that bull crap. Waving a promotion banner and telling that every other promotion sucks. But we're here definitely. So let's get this started and let's start this popping and whatnot. So don't go nowhere. We're about to start.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. This is episode 208. We're live. We're definitely live and whatnot. So, I mean, there's people out there either in front of their desk right now and the earshot or my voice. Welcome to another episode 208. And this, of course, this is a special episode because it's an AEW weekend, if you think about it. We got the AEW All In predictions and whatnot. Now, I mean, the 0 hour, I don't know why they even going to start. I hope this is not the start of the show as far as the All In situation. We got Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Stanlander and Stokely Hathaway. Now, my question is, why are they doing this match? Because Stokely Hathaway, I mean, have you ever seen this guy wrestle? I know he was in NXT at one point, but I think he always was a manager. I never seen Stokely Hathaway wrestle. So this is more like, I guess, a warm-up to warm up the fans as they come into the arena and whatnot. And so we're going to see what's going on with that. So right now, I see Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii winning this match. Stokely Hathaway is probably going to get a beatdown from Tomohiro. You don't want to be in that ring with Tomohiro Ishii. You guys who follow New Japan Pro Wrestling know this man is not a joke. At all. So also the Casino Gauntlet match, we have the Orange Cassidy and Evil Uno, Hangman Adam Page, and supposedly more competitors, I guess, to be announced. I don't know who's involved, but one thing I could tell you about this Casino Gauntlet, there's one individual who I feel that is a perfect spot to, make his debut and All In, even though it might be the 0 hour show, but why not? Why not bring him in when he is already signed? And we're talking about Ricochet. Now, Ricochet could come out as the last man in the Casino Gauntlet, and I could see him come out. I don't know if he's going to win the Casino Gauntlet, but he could do his debut in front of 50,000 people, not do a debut when he's coming out in Dynamite when you might get 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. But what a good way to do it. That's if Tony Khan is predicting to do it this way. So it's something to think about You know what I'm saying? And makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, you know. And anybody who feels that it's how you call it, it's not the right thing to do as far as, you know, him actually making Ricochet debut and whatnot on All In on the Casino Gauntlet, it would be perfect. I mean, I don't know how many matches they're gonna have. I'm hoping that the Casino Gauntlet is not part of the 0 Hour and whatnot. So I'm hoping that that's not the situation, but it is what it is. The FTW Championship for the world, which to me, I think this is one of the weakest matches that they have on the card. Hook versus Chris Jericho. So most likely, with Chris Jericho being, the champion, and Hook, who this time last year, this time last year, him and Jack Perry were in a feud, and Jack Perry was the FTW champion, you know, and that's when the whole CM Punk situation happened. The whole nine. Now this year we got Hook again. Most likely he'll be at the 0 Hour to go against Chris Jericho, and most likely you may see some more Joe come back. Shibata may come back because you know that Chris Jericho is going to have his people as far as having them, backing him up. You know, you're talking about Big Bill, and the other cowboy guy, whatever his last name is, and they're going to be interfering. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it is, I guess there is no disqualification when it comes to the FTW, but they're going to get involved. So don't be surprised if you see Samoa Joe come back. And definitely don't be surprised if Shibata gets involved. So, Suzuki might come in. You never know. Things can happen in the pre-show at All In. So that's something to watch. I mean, the one thing I have that as far as this wrestling match and as far as the storyline is concerned, again, I asked Tony Khan, please don't give Hook a fucking mic. The guy he's not, listen, there's certain wrestlers that can wrestle and you could keep them off the mic as far as promo. And then there's wrestlers that do more promos, but they can't wrestle. So in Hook's situation, he's still developing his wrestling skills and whatnot, but don't give him a mic. For God's sakes, do not give him a mic. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought on that. The AEW's Trios Championship, you got the London ladder match, which is, to me, every time I see a ladder match, it worries me because somebody's going to get hurt because these guys are going to push the envelope as far as dealing with a ladder match. In the, on this match, of course, you got the Patriarchy, which is Lucha Bros. I forgot the other kid's name. Jesus Christ. He used to be with Darby Allin. And of course, Christian. They're going to be defending the belts since they're the Trios champion against House of Black and the Bang Bang Gang and the Bang Bang Gang and a mystery tag team. Now, my thing, I'm thinking maybe we're going to see Leo Rush come out with the Top Flight and whatnot. They'll be the surprise mystery team. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't think of any other 6-man team or 3-man team that AEW has. So I have no idea who's going to be, the other trios that was going to happen. So I have no idea. The AEW World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Young Bucks versus the champions versus FTR and the Acclaim. This is a toss-up because do you really want to give the Acclaim the belts again? They were not that great as far as, they were hot at one point, but right now the Acclaim are not as hot as they were when they first won the tag team titles. And even when they won the 6-man tag team titles. FTR right now deserve to become AEW champion for the third time. The Young Bucks, of course, they need to lose those belts because they have those belts for over 4 months already, and they really haven't defended against anybody and whatnot. So my thing is, what's going to happen? I have no idea, but I'm saying FTR may win this for the simple fact that they're going to be the second team in AEW history to become a 3 times tag team champion. Or we could have the Young Bucks just, come out of nowhere, cheat. It's a 3-way, there's no disqualification, and they probably go and, regain the belts. It could be that way. So I mean, there's no real winners here because in the end, the Young Bucks right now as World Tag Team Champion is they are a better team as far as the storyline, the characters, and what they're doing. Since they're the EVPs, so it makes them that heat to continue. But if you take the belts away from them, then what? You know what I'm saying? The TNT title, talking about the Elite, Jack Perry versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. This time, I think Darby is going to lose his match. He's not going to win the belt from Jack Perry because Jack Perry just got his black belt or that burn belt, whatever it looks like. This is the same thing the Evil from New Japan Pro Wrestling did with the Never Open Weight title, and he sprayed it black. Remember, Jack Perry is part of House of Torture in Japan. In case you guys don't, don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so to me, I don't see Jack Perry losing this belt. He's gonna keep the belt. Darby Allin don't really need the TNT title. He's still part of the Pillar. So these two guys from the Pillar are gonna go at it. So that's very interesting. The TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker. I don't see Britt Baker winning it. But for the simple fact, and I'm gonna say this because of that whole situation when she, according to the dirt sheet, of course, they said that she was kind of upset because of the Will Ospreay and MJF match took for almost an hour. So her talking about, they're taking time away from other wrestlers and all that. I mean, I don't know if this is true because this is dirt sheets and whatever, but there was a big situation that happened, which kind of, MJF corrected and whatnot. We're going to be talking about that later. But I see Mercedes Moné retaining the belt, but I'll tell you one thing. And next Friday, she's losing that New Japan Pro Wrestling open weight strong title to forgot the Japanese girl, but she's losing that belt and whatnot because she's been having it for a while. So and New Japan Pro Wrestling don't like having the belts around other wrestlers that are not really under New Japan contract. So she's losing that belt, but she's going to retain the TBS championship. I don't see any other way that happening. I know Camille's going to get involved and something unless someone comes and defend Britt Baker and whatnot. So we'll see about that. The American Championship, AEW, who was formerly known as the International Championship, the MJF versus Will Ospreay. I'm calling it right now. I feel Will Ospreay is going to hit that Tiger 91 on MJF. MJF's going to do something stupid that's going to force him to, push Will Ospreay to the point where he was like, you know what? I don't care. I mean, you saw it this past. You saw it this past Wednesday when they told him that he can make it $100,000 fine, and he didn't care. So you think that he's gonna care about hurting MJF? And with Bryan Danielson say do it, he's gonna do it. I think MJF's gonna lose that belt. MJF belongs more in the world title picture. I think him and Strickland are next. They may go next. That's if Bryan Danielson don't win the belt, but I could see that happening and whatnot. Also, if you look what MJF has been doing, he is the Donald Trump of professional wrestling. I mean, if you saw the Wrestle Talk interview and if you saw the Cultaholic interview he had, is MJF being the Donald Trump of professional wrestling, lying, telling false stories and all that, how he beat Will Ospreay in a minute and 58 seconds when in reality it was 58 minutes, close to an hour when these guys went at it for that belt. So I love what MJF is doing and whatnot. And that whole dark side of it is I like it compared to what he was doing with Adam Cole. But don't be surprised Adam Cole is the next guy who's probably going to challenge if MJF retains the international title, the American title, it's called. I see Adam Cole coming back, but is he going to come back as a heel or a babyface? Because the Undisputed Era, they haven't done anything with them and whatnot, or the Undisputed Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. They haven't done nothing. He was supposed to be the devil last year, and he's been gone all this time. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. The women's world title, Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That I got Mariah May winning that. I don't see Toni Storm coming out of Wembley with the women's world title. It'll be the second year in a row of her actually losing the belt. I don't see Mariah May not, I don't see Mariah May losing this match at all. That's the way I look at it. So it's I'm predicting it right now. Mariah May is going to win the title. If Tony Storm wins, I'll be surprised. But I've seen other crazy stuff in the past. The AEW World Championship, Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. That is a toss-up. I think if Swerve Strickland wins, Bryan Danielson, of course, his career is over. He already said he's not going to wrestle past 2024. And his contract is over with AEW. And Bryan Danielson, if he wins it, he'll probably go and, I guess, hold the belt all the way to Wrestle Dream. And after Wrestle Dream, he'll lose the belt at home. Probably to Swerve Strickland again. So that could happen. They could have some type of match where either Bryan Danielson have his moment and whatnot. I see Tony Khan do stuff like that. Give him a moment as an AEW World Champion, and then next couple of weeks he'll lose it to Swerve Strickland, and that's it. That'll be Bryan Danielson's career. But if Swerve Strickland wins, Bryan Danielson is done, and that will be it. So that's my my predictions right now as far as All In and whatnot. So let's move on now to Swerve Strickland. We're just talking about the AEW locker room has been great. A lot of things has been blown out of proportion. And he pretty much said it. He pretty much said it. He said that it's, a lot of these dirt sheets, they make reports, and he was talking, speaking with Barstool Wrestling and whatnot. And he said, it's been great. He said, about the AEW locker rooms has been great. I think everything's been exploited. Definitely been blown out of proportion with a lot of things. They say it every other week, but it's like, go back to last week. What did you hear? Go back the week before. Go back last month. Go back 6 months now. You heard nothing. So therefore, to me, it's almost calculated to a T. Before every pay-per-view, right before every big move there's always something that comes out because they're always bickering in the locker room. That's a universal in any workplace. It's pretty sure you have it with people behind the camera, but I'm pretty sure people said something that they're not particularly proud of, or you're not happy about it. It happens, but it's not made for the internet. It happens and then it goes away. It happens everywhere. So to me, I'd rather have people care and be upset about something than not give a damn at all. These are people that are passionate about their jobs and they work with what they do, and they're also probably the best at what they do. And he said, like I said, I feel like AEW is always on the defensive of those things, and that's what comes with being the alternative. We have to play defense at all those scenarios, but that doesn't stop us from continuing to put the great product and great show. That doesn't stop us from people wanting to still come over and being all elite wrestling, actually, and that doesn't stop any of that. So y'all can have fun with the story, but then okay, cool, we back to business, making money and doing great business and growing. And he said, and it is for me. What do I do in this situation? We rally, we get back on the train, we get to the show, we get the show started. We put a great product, and I don't let it phase me, and I try not to let it phase other people. Kind of give them what the motivational speech to keep them on, and he's right. And he's right, because, I'm going to bring this up because a lot of these AEW haters, the tribalism that goes on online, you see people jump on stories. And I'll give you a good example. I remember last year, Warriors End, somebody who had an issue with Chris Jericho decided to go and get online and talk bullshit about Chris Jericho and that he tried to sexually molest Kylie Ray and whatnot. And it turned out it was a lie. And it was a couple of days before World's End. It was the biggest story in the wrestling business at that time. And then lately, that's what's been going on. Every time there is a pay-per-view coming within a week or a couple of days before the pay-per-view, somebody comes with rumors. Now, there are certain podcasts out here that, I love how they get in and they, say things that I have seen by name. You know what I'm saying? Which in a way I say, okay, fine. You don't have to mention me by name because they don't want to give exposure to my podcast, which is fine with me because you know what? It is what it is. But when you got people who got the nerves to, first of all, they're not even established podcasters, have the nerves that, people get mad or get annoyed because I say this. A lot of these dirt sheets are they did just post up for clickbait and whatnot. And they ain't going to come out and say, where do you think they get the information from? From nowhere. Because I'm telling you, these are the people that go and they post stuff. And I've been saying this for over a year. I mean, I feel like a parrot bringing this up. He questioned, where did these people get the information from? From them making rumors. They'll come up with bullshit. They'll hear something and they'll misconstrue the story and then turn it around, share it with other people, share it with this ignorant wrestling community, people who just playing the waving the flag and whatnot, tribal, people. I mean, it's WWE and AEW, but people who have no knowledge of the wrestling industry, and they go out of their way just to make rumors, and then they'll keep passing it on. That's what I love when MJF was on Wrestle Talk. He shouted out Brandon Thurston and WrestleNomics by them talking about how they went out of their way last year to deny or make up story that AEW did not have 81,000 people on the building, when in reality they did. But Brandon Thurston, who's a WWE shield and only always taking shots at AEW on the down low, went and made a bullshit story. And next thing you know, Will Ospreay went and did a tattoo of the actual attendance record at Wembley and almost went that close to go and erasing it and changing it. And lucky enough, a day or two before they actually gave the actual number, he was going to go and change the number. But MJ pointed that out. And then he pointed out Cultaholic. Cultaholic went out the way. They were the ones who came up with this story about, Britt Baker pissed off. And MJF went to the locker room and, his girlfriend had like a back and forth with Britt. And then, MJF went and put a hole in the wall. And he was like, well, if that was true, and I approached a 110-pound woman and I put a hole in the wall, don't you think I should have been suspended? And he's right. But this is what happens. You have all these fans who go and follow these dirt sheet and think they legit. Then they got the balls to go and take shots at me and think, I don't know, they taking shots at me. I'm looking dead at the camera. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You're taking shots at me, which is fine. Because again, I got my podcast. Do you have one, or you trying to create one? You know what I'm saying? I don't care. This is my platform. I'm going to say what I got to say. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? But when you got people talking about, these dirt sheets and stuff. So Swerve Strickland just said it. Yeah, you're going to have issues in the back of the locker room with other people and whatnot. And it always happens. It happens in the jobs. I mean, I don't get along with everybody when it comes to my job or whatever. I mean, there's going to be conflict. There's going to be something. But when you're passionate about something and whatnot, and you're a team, that's what happens. When everybody believes it, though. You know what I'm saying? So also, again, MJF brought it up. Swerve Strickland compared it to two guys who are the main guys, mainstay AEW. What are they gonna lie for? What they getting out of that? You know what I'm saying? So, and I heard something this week where somebody said that that Bryan Danielson is the guy who gives out, suspensions and all this nonsense. Please, okay. Again, you got your tribalism. You have your people who swear that WWE is the end all be all. When in reality, this week WWE just lost viewers. I mean, what's the excuse? You're supposed to be the hottest promotion right now. Y'all cooking, supposed to be cooking. I guess somebody spilled the beans on the side because they lost viewership this week. Now you're gonna say, "Oh, AEW, look at their numbers or whatever." That's fine. That is fine. But they're gonna get their TV deal, and they're still gonna be around. And you haters are still gonna rip your hairs out of your head. Simple as that. So let's move on. Matt Hardy reacts to the Lucha Brother rumors about them leaving. He pretty much brought up. He thinks the Lucha Bro possibly leaving AEW is a big deal. Say they will do well in WWE. Now, when I read this article, I pretty much had to laugh because the first thing I'm going to say, Even let's say right now, if Lucha Bros go to if they go to WWE, this is the reason why they don't want to go to NXT. NXT, who's big NXT as tag team? They don't want no developmental tag team belts. These guys are international. The international tag team wrestlers. They've been in Japan. They've been in Mexico. They've been in AEW. They've been in London. They've been everywhere. Penta has been everywhere. The same can be said of everything. And you want to go grab these international guys who's been already, who have been established and put them in NXT. And again, I heard this week, Lucha Bros being in NXT for 1 year is good. Should be good for them in NXT. Why go to NXT? Send them directly to the main roster. And I'm gonna tell you why I send them to me, because the main roster, you don't have a lot of tag teams. You got DIY, you got Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. You have Tama Tonga Loa, now the tag team champion, former Guerrillas of Destiny, right? You could bring back the Usos and have a tag team division. But if you really look at the tag team division in WWE, they don't have a tag team division. Okay? You got Tangaloa and Tama Tonga, now the tag team champions, because they took the belt away from Jacob Fatu. I don't know why, but they took it away from him. Okay? And whatnot. And the Raw's tag team champion, which is Finn Balor and McDonough. I mean, who are going to challenge these guys for those tag team belts? The Street Profit? Because the Street Profit just had a tag team match against the Guerrillas of Destiny. I'll still call them the Guerrillas of Destiny. The Bloodline, 2.0, whatever you want to call them. But then you want to bring Lucha Bros. You want to bring them in, but you want to put them in the NXT to do what? You know what I'm saying? So Matt Hardy made a comment about them being there, and on his podcast, The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, he said they are one of the OG teams. There are a couple of the founding talents and really staples of the tag team division in AEW. I know we talk about this. They're probably the Young Bucks' greatest opponent too, which is true, which is a big deal if those guys do end up staying away or stepping away. Hardy went on to explain why he believes the team will do well in WWE. He said, I do, especially with how they are playing toward the Hispanic market in these days and age, especially, going on tours in Mexico and South America. They will be huge. They will be huge. First of all, they went to Mexico just recently. Okay. How they came into the Hispanic market? They went to Mexico just when they went and they stole Stephanie Vaquel from CMML. They said they went to South America, Chile. WWE doesn't go to South America as much as they used to back in the days. Okay, so Matt Hardy, yeah, you're right. It'll be a big deal them leaving AEW because they're the day one guys and whatnot. But let's be realistic. Let's There's no tag team in WWE. Let's face the truth. They have no tag team in WWE. So they got 2 or 3, the most. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy, but it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you think about this whole video right now, the predictions and whatnot for for All In. I'm sorry for the YouTubers. I thought I could record, not YouTubers, the Twitters, the X or whatever you want to call it. I thought you could do live from here, but I guess not, because you got to be having premium and whatnot. It is what it is. Again, tell me what you think about the All-In prediction. Tell me what you think about Strickland talking about these dirty, blowing stuff out of proportion a couple of days before the pay-per-view, like they always do. Matt Hardy reaction to the Lucha Bro rumors, and what do you think of what I said and whatnot. Again, guys, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 500 subscribe and whatnot. If we could do that soon, 500, I appreciate it. You guys want to follow me on social media platform, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and X, which used to be Twitter. Of course, the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Also, check out my t-shirt, my hats, and hoodie at tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. Again, that's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. impressive.com and check out the the t-shirts, the hats, the sweaters. Fall is coming very soon. Summer is almost over. Again, continue to check out my podcast and whatnot. Subscribe, and share it with your friends and whatnot. So also check me out on the TikTok. I also got the TikTok. I put little clips from the videos and whatnot. So let me know what you guys think. Again, we're definitely going to continue doing what we're doing. Next week, we'll probably talk about what happens in All In tomorrow. So check that out and whatnot. So don't, it is what it is. I'm very looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at All In tomorrow. So again, this is a AEW weekend. Hopefully they go do well. And again, I hope everybody enjoys it. Forget about this tribalism crap. Like I said, my podcast will not deal with tribalism here and whatnot. So let's continue to watch, promote, actually support wrestling as a whole. No freaking divisions and shit. So until then, guys, I'll see you guys soon. Till then, be safe.